Hey, welcome back. Sangria from City Beauty. We're doing another palette pairing. We're aiming for 2 for this video, and full face is done, so we only have to use the eyes. What are we pairing today? We're pairing my 669 Lethal BYOP dupe with Future Flames Connecting Color from MAC. So this is what they look like. And for some reason I was thinking we were pairing this with Fall Romance from ABH, and so now I'm wondering, is that something I should do? But this is what they look like together. And so even though this is all reddish tones and some tans and some neutrals, this is a very what's the word? This palette does offer a lot of variety, and I compared this to, I think it was Sunlit Seduction. I think we did one eye with this and one eye with that, and the looks were like almost the same, but this, zero to no mess, easy to work with, easy to travel with, and the packaging, y'all, is just adorable. And so we're pairing that with my Lethal dupe. So yeah, in this shade, this is a dual chrome and this one is a dual chrome. Yeah, so they always kind of catch me off guard. So this is what we're pairing. My plan is, and I will call out the shades, not that it matters, because I'm trying to get us back to, it's about the colors. So for MAC, we're going to take this for inner corner, and then this for the second part of the lid. Then we're going to move over to Lethal, and we're going to put this shade, this dual chrome right here, on the third part of the lid. And no, we were going to do third part of the lid and then put this on the fourth part of the lid, and then we may go back to the MAC palette and put this one on our outer corner and drag it slightly over into the crease. For transition, I'm thinking this shade. I was going to pull the one from MAC, this one down here, but then I said, you know what, let me use something else from Lethal. So this is going to be for our transition shade, and then we're going to go back to MAC with this for our brow bone, because it looks white, but it's not. This is like a, I don't know what to call it, but it is not white. It's not quite tan either. It's like a extremely pale gold satin shade. That's what that looks like. And then for lower lash line, we are going to put, excuse me, I want to do a green just to like break up all of that, even though we'll have these 2 dual chromes on the lid. Like, look at these 2 shades. Because at first I thought put this all the way across lower lash line and then put this tight against my lash line, but then I'm thinking I want to do the greens though, like just to do something different. I'm starting to sweat. You know what, I just realized I need to spray my face. So we may put this all the way, like our entire lower lash line, and then maybe put this like right up against my lower lashes. And so again, I will call out the numbers. We're going to prime the eye. Well, first I'm going to spray my face, then we're going to prime the eye, and we will come back and jump into this look. We do have on the Fenty eye primer and also the MAC paint pot and groundwork. Y'all, this is another Fenty eye pencil that is done. You see that little tiny piece of nub? That is all that's left, but no fear, because I do have backups, and when she would have her cells, that's when I would get a backup. But we are going to use this nub until it ain't no nub. But yeah, y'all, I be going through those. So yeah, let me just smooth out this paint pot again, and then we'll get started, and I will do the intro as we're going. I'm excited about this look, but then I'm usually excited about looks, right? So we're going to take Amber Lights from MAC. So hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this just one pat, y'all. Hello and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that? The crazy is because here's a crazy concept. Just being your authentic self in a world where people will say you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you should do this, you should do that. I'm here to tell you, just be who you are and love yourself for it. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique, because that's what they're telling you in the video. Wear what you want to wear, however you want to wear it, and just rock it. Listen, the bottom line here is self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look even when you're not wearing face paint. I hope that resonates with you. If you've been with me for a while, I hope that that is one of your daily affirmations. It's just love yourself for who you are and be your authentic self. 2 things about me if you are new here. I curse sometimes because I curse sometimes. And now we're going to take Flamboyant. And the second thing is there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches, and I try to be aware of it to say, excuse me. Every now and then, 1 or 2 will get past me, but I do try to be aware of it because that's just gross even for a troll. Yo, look how these... I do highly recommend these matte connecting colors, especially the 12 pan ones. Unfiltered Nudes, this one, Future Flames, and Hi-Fi Color. And I just did a pairing with Hi-Fi Color, and I forget what else. I forget what the other palette was that we used to pair it with. But these palettes, even on their own, they are very versatile, easy to travel with, little to zero mess. So you don't have to be like, oh, let me do my face first or whatever. So you could just get it for the day and like just do your complexion products, and then later be like, oh, you know what? Oh yeah, I'm going out to lunch with my friends today. Let me just put on some eyeshadow. You can do this and not have to worry about stuff not looking right. We are overlapping that first shade just to get a blend going. But yeah, I am a fan of MAC, and some of these shades that's in this palette, I'm looking at the names. Some of them you can get as singles, and I do have 3 15 pan BYOPs, excuse me, from MAC, and I do love them dearly. Or if you're near a CCO, Company Cosmetic Store, or CCS, CCO, Company Cosmetic Outlet, or CCS, Company Cosmetic Store, excuse me. I'm just excited. They do have MAC singles in there, and so that's another way that you can get MAC single shadows like very, very cheap. The stuff is a lot cheaper at the CCO anyway, but one of my 15 pans I put together, the shadows were on clearance, and so some stuff was like $2 and some change, some were $6 and some change. At the store they're $11, and if you get them in the compact, the single compact, I think it's like $20. And don't quote me on these prices because we know prices is changing right now for some things, but I do highly recommend them. Now we're going to go into the Lethal, and we're going to take, which one did I say I was going to take first? Because that one is looking purple, but then it turns blue. Let's take the one that looks red and then like a burnt copper. That one is Event Horizon. Ooh. Y'all, these are the Esom V27 brushes, and so is this one. This is a newer one. It's angled, and it has a black handle, whereas this one is just not angled. But I do like my angled brushes for the purpose that you see me use it for, and so I think I have like 4 of those. I see 3 over there, and this one here makes 4. Yes, I have 4 of those. If I like a brush, I do get more when there's a sale that's happening, and I really do like those brushes. And they're great for if I'm doing my lid in quarters, like 1 shade, 1 shade, 1 shade, and 1 shade, versus the Hourglass brush, which is good if I'm doing just one half one color and the other half another color, because it is a wider brush. So we're just, excuse me, lightly feathering up there. This is pretty. That was Event Horizon. I was going to go into the one next to it. The one next to it, Exosphere, I do think that's in my Mission XXX. No, my Martine Cosmetics, yeah, Mission XXX inspired Lethal BYOP palette. Y'all, this shade is so pretty. And you don't get the full effect of the shift because I am just putting just a little bit of space, like just probably a little bit more than the width of the brush. It is ideal when using multi-chromes or dual chromes to use 1, maybe 2 on the lid, because you're not going to see the shift until you turn. Like right here you see some green, but then here you see that burgundy, and so since it is such a small space, you're not going to see much of the shift because it needs space for the light to bend around it, you know what I'm saying? And so, but y'all know I like to put on a lot of shades. I like to put on a lot of shades, so if you don't know that, you know, like if you're new here, like yeah, this is just what I do. Put on a lot of shades. We're going to take that brush that has that Flamboyant shade on there, and we're going to pull over Flamboyant over to Event Horizon, because I don't want to completely lose that red, but it is blending very nicely with Flamboyant. Like this And we're going to also take this brush and just go lightly on the top edge, even though we are going to put a transition shade up there. And yes, my lid shades are up to my transition, because y'all like, girl, you're already in your transition. I know, because my mobile lid is only here to here. So if I only put shadow here, when I look up, you just see like that tiny strip here and a tiny strip over there. You see what I'm saying? Just a tiny strip. And so I do take my lid shades up higher so that they can be seen without me looking down or raising my brows. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to move on to Exosphere. Ooh, all these shades. I'm excited. I was thinking to put a green on my outer corner. This is pretty. This is pretty. Wow. And I don't know why I was thinking that. And I don't quite know if I think it'll look right. And some of y'all that's been here been a while, for me for a while, y'all probably like, girl, when has that stopped you from trying something, thinking, not knowing if it was going to look right? I know, and I hear you. I'm just really digging this, and so part of me is like, don't mess it up. This shade is flaking a little bit, and I don't remember if I tapped it off or not. And I'm thinking I didn't, because I do see some fallout over here and over here, just a little bit. But the MAC shadows, I don't get fallout from them at all. Yo, this is so pretty. So we're just like overlapping where the two shades meet. This side doesn't even need it, but we're going to do it anyway. Part of me wants to put a dark green on the outer corner just to further spice things up. Where's the brush I use? Okay, we're going to take this brush. This is the brush we use for our hourglass powder, and that just brushed away. I love it when that does that. All right, now we're going to, yeah, I do have, this brush, this is also Esom. This is a T37. When they have a sale, I do post when stuff goes on sale on my community tab, because Esom is kind of expensive. Right now, I'm looking at the shape, not the shape, the space between the shadow and up here. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And this side is further up than this side, but we are going to put, I do think we are going to take a green. So we're going to take Nightless. Is that the one I said we were? No, this one we're going to put lower lash line. This is Nightless, and in person it does look a little more green. And yes, I am putting on just whatever color. But this is a pretty shade. So we're just going to put this, and because of the dual chrome, multi-chrome aspect of like these two shades, it'll blend in nicely. Like a color like this will blend in nicely with those, because it just does. And Lethal works well with itself, and it works well with other brands too, because there's some brands where they don't play well with others. And I wasn't going to dip in, but I'm not, because I was going to fill in this gap. But we're going to see if our transition shade will do that for us. So, and I do have a brush here to wing out my shadow, but now I'm like, I don't know. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. Like, tap back in very lightly. Put some up here. I do want to wing the shadow, y'all. Like, I do. The shapes are almost the same, like, right now. So we're going to use the tip of the brush, the angle point part, and we're just going to feather in between. Well, not in between, but where the two shades meet. That green, and it does show up, well, down here in the mirror I'm looking right now, and it looks green, and it is blending nicely into that purple. We're going to take the top edge of this brush, the angle part. Yeah, that worked. And we're going to bring this up just a little bit. And actually, let's just bring it over here just a little bit too. Just a little bit. I really like that look. And we're going to do the same thing over here. So the question is, are we going to wing out the shadow? And I did bring out a brush to wing the shadow. But the shapes are looking more alike than usual. So part of me is like, don't mess it up. But we're going to go for it. So we're taking the E49 brush. And we're going into Nightless. And we are tapping that off. And we're just going to bring that out there. The last time I did my wing shadow, they were even. Because I remember saying the day before, when I put my glasses on, this wing was right behind my eyeglass arm. And this one, the eyeglass arm was up here, and the wing was down here. And so the last time I did it, though, they were the same. I was like, oh. as the same. They were the same. They were the same. And I remember saying that my eyeglasses are crooked, even like where the plastic piece is a little crooked. And the way it's on there, like I can't like adjust it. But yeah, it was the same. And I was like, oh, I did it. Can I do it again though? That's always the question. I do have primer and paint pot over here. And so we are just feathering out. And I know some of you always wing out your shadow. I know Bestie does. And who else said they do? I think it was Nina that said she always wings out her shadow too. I've been trying to learn how to wing it and have it look nice like every time and have a similar shape as the other side. And I have been trying different brushes, but I do really like, as of right now, the Sigma E49 for winging out shadow, because sometimes I know tap up here. Sometimes I would use this for outer corner, which is wide, and I would just use like the tip of it to wing it. But then so I was trying different brushes, and this time I said, well, the last few times I said, let me use this one. And you know what, I do like how that looks, and the shapes is kind of the same, where it's just, all right, we're going to stop right there. Transition shade, we're going to take, I wonder if that'll be too dark, but not if I go lightly. Catatonic, which is next to Nightless. Because I do try to use the same number of shadows from each palette when I'm pairing palettes. Because if I'm just using like 6 shades from one and one from another, I'm like, yeah, that's just a random shade. That's just a rogue shade in my mind. And then if I'm using like 6 or 7 shades, like why not? Try to have an even number between each palette, you know what I mean? And that's just a me thing. That really did a good job blending out the line, which is not why I put it here. I put it here just to decrease this space of bareness. And I do like how that looks. I usually don't use a shade to blend out another shade, and I know a lot of people do. I just do it to get rid of this extra space without taking my lid shades all the way up. Because sometimes I do take them all the way up, and it's like, girl, I'm like, I know, right? But yeah, I didn't want to do that this time because I wanted to use more shades. And so we have 5 shades on the lid. This is 6. Our brow arch will be 7. And then 8 and 9 underneath. So 9 shadows for the entire look, excuse me. But just 7 for the lid. I should have put that rice in a rice cooker. Because that takes like 20 minutes, I think, to cook. I'm going to make a burrito bowl. So I'm going to do rice, chicken. I have some queso. I think I need to get more queso. I think the one I have is almost empty. From Mamacita. I get it from Aldi. And it's only, well, last I bought it, it was only like 2 something. Whereas like a grocery store, it might be like $6. And I'm like, oh no, honey. And so, and also I need to go to BJ's. Well, I want to go to BJ's and get some more salads because the 3 for $10 is until the 30th. Today is a Sunday. I want to say it's the 27th. And so I do want to go get some more salads. But yeah. I'm not touching it. I was getting ready to do some more blending. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to take, what's the pointillism? That light shade that looks white on camera but is not. We're going to take that and put this right up under the brow. Y'all, I am digging just that light strip of color. Oh my gosh, I am loving it. Oh. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 shades so far. How many shades do you use? I think I asked that before. Somebody said they can easily use 5 to 7. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Especially if I do the lid in pieces like that. Somebody else said they max out at like 3. And that is an easy, quick, simple look too. Because it's like, especially if you do transition, crease, and lid shades, those are your shades and you're done. And it used to be a time when the transition shade was also the person's lower lash line shade, and so they would just do that and then like wrap it around, or their outer corner shade would be their lower lash line shade. But I do try to, well, not try to, I do mix it up because I do just like having all the shades. So we're gonna put all these are all the brushes, y'all. Lower lash line, I forget. Oh, I have stage 5 clinger, which they don't make anymore. And on my inner rims, I have Nudge Nudge Ink. So this is what that looks like. And this is what stage 5 clinger looks like. So this one is the one lower lash line. And they don't make it no more. And I keep looking at other liners like, can I find a dupe for that? And I haven't seen any that were yet. So, because I do like how that shows up. The look I did for the members only look, when I put on the liner, I did smudge it out with this. I have 2 of these. That's a Makeup Forever brush. And so I'm thinking, and having smudged it out, I'm like, I really liked how it looked. And so I was asking those who were in attendance, like, should I still put color under there or not? Because I really was liking how it looked. And they were like, no, just leave it. I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to take Fauna, that green shimmer from Lethal. And we're going to put that all the way over. So that's going to go on the entire lower lash line. And we are bringing it down some as well. I just really love Lethal shades. I dare not even think about what the prices are going to be, especially coming from overseas. But then part of me is thinking the price of the product won't go up because it's not like it's being imported into a country. You know what I mean? It's me buying it and them sending it to me. But I do imagine still, because, you know, the government want to get money where they can. I do wonder, like, if postage is going to go up, if shipping costs are going to go up, or they start implementing like customs fees. This eye is tearing. I can feel it under this lower lash line. It's starting to get wet. I have enough though to last me for a while. I can say that. But I just think of, you know, when the ones I have turn, like, am I going to replace them or not? And I have had a couple. What was it? It was Transmutation, and it was what was that brown one? That deep brown. And they were out of stock for a while, and then when they came back, I purchased them. And those are actually in here, in this palette. No, just Transmutation is in here. The formula started being flaky, and they're not flaky shades. And I'm like, okay, the formula is changing. But the PAO for Lethal Shadows is 24 months. So I have lots of time. And I do pay attention to let me slow down. I do pay attention to that, even though I will use a shadow longer. I use it till the formula starts changing or until it starts to irritate my lids, if I really like that shadow. Now we're going to go into Wilderness, that dark green, and we're taking this brush, and we're going to just press this right up under my lashes or over top of the lashes, as close as I can get. So it'll be this dark green, this eye is tearing, and then you see the shimmer underneath. I do think it makes a slight difference because I'm looking at the depth of this one versus over here. So not too much of a difference, but I do, like, in person I can tell that it is something dark there, or it could be like, okay, that's because you have liner under there. So if I didn't put this matte green, like, would it still look the same if I had blended out the eyeliner? You know what I mean? But yeah, so we use, what did I say, 7 up top, 8, 9. So we use 9 shades for this. So now the question is, what am I going to put for upper lash line? What if for once I didn't put anything for upper lash line? And so you would see more of the color, because whatever I put on my upper lash line, it does take away, like, even looking now, how you just see this slimmer of color right there, and like a sliver of color here. When I put on lashes, it covers that up. So you know what? We're going to do something different today, and we're just going to put on mascara. So we're going to put the mascara on, and I'm going to figure out a lip, and then we will be back. I know my bottom lip is looking large. I overlined too much by accident, but we did an ombre lip. Both of these are from Sephora Cream Lip Stains. This one is 134 Plum Madness. That's the darker shade. And the inside shade is 135 Mystic Purple. So that's what we use. I know I say it often. I love this Issa mascara. Like, look at my lashes. So this is a look, y'all. Let's do our pictures. And then this one. And then this one. And let's do one for the gallery. Let me know what y'all think of this look. Like, y'all, I am loving it. I am loving it. And y'all know I'm uncoordinated, so let me get all the glares off and hope my fingers don't look too wacky. All right, and then my hand is like in my face. This is weird. Why don't I just hold one on each side? All right, girl, don't drop it. Don't stick your finger in the black. All right, so here we go. This is going to be the one for the gallery. My fingers look weird. So that is that. So thank you, y'all. Hang tight. We're going to be doing another look. I forget what it is. I think they're both lethal palettes. And then we're going to pair, which I don't even know if that's fair because they're both BYOPs and you can just build it how you want. But it might be good for you to see the colors. And so if you are interested in building a BYOP from lethal, or just looking at the colors and thinking, oh, I got similar, I can recreate that look. You know what I mean? Because I really want us to just get back to, it's about the colors, not the brand, not the name. You know what I mean? And so hang tight. We'll see that look coming up right about now. Thank you for continuing to hang out with me. I did clean my lens, but I'm still think I look a little hazy. This is a new day, but the last look I did was the Pat McGrath and Subversive look. We're pairing two more palettes again today. Both of these are lethal. This is Candyland that the neighbors, my members helped me name, and this one is Spare Squares because these were just like leftover shades. And one of my members helped me name this one. And so what I am thinking to do is we're going to do Halo Spotlight, something or other type look. So what I'm thinking is take this green all the way out, all the way in, and then put this one inside of that. And then take this shade here. And I will call out what the shade names are. This is Kindlewood. Let me go in the order I'm putting them on. This is Replica. This is Kindlewood. This one is Biome, and it is a dual chrome. You see that? Oh, that's lovely. And then we're going to come over to Candyland, and my thought is to take Mainframe and then put Untamed in the center. And if I want to brighten it up some more, I will take this shade, which is Overdrive. Some of these shades are from the Wildflower palette, and some of them are from the mystery bag that I purchased. And I know that because, hi, my name is Dion. I'm a label whore. And so I have my label saying this, what's what, saying that is what is what. Okay, yeah. Y'all, this right here, this is Hellbent from MAC. I put this on my inner rums and my lower lash line today, and I realized this is all that's left. I do have a backup because I purchased things. I purchased some of my backups of some of my staple items, and especially my skincare, because I was anticipating this stuff with tariffs, and I am glad that I did that. I posted on my Temu today that yeah, stuff is going up. Temu and Shein is going up, and we knew other stuff was already too. So I'm going to finish priming the eye, and we'll come back and get into these palettes. We are doing this in the wee hours of the morning because I do want to have this posted for the 29th, and it is the 29th right now, but it's going on like 2 a.m. So I do not plan on filming tomorrow, but I do have like 6 or 7 shorts. This is Replica. I do have like 6 or 7 shorts that I need to schedule, and so that may be what you see on the 30th. And the first is my live with Janessa J Champagne. Y'all, I am so friggin' excited. This side is looking darker, and even in person in the mirror down here is looking darker, and I don't know why. My eyes are still teary from earlier, so I feel like I need to just hurry up with this look before the teariness starts to wipe away my inner corner and outer corner shades. This does look light in the pan. Let me show you again what it is. It's this green down here. So it looks a little bit darker on my eye, on my eyelid in the inner corner, but the outer corner it doesn't. And it might be the Groundwork paint pot that's altering that shade. I'm not sure, but it is definitely looking different. Usually with lethal shadows, it shows up like how it looks in the pan. So let me move this mirror a little bit down here. So I didn't wash the brushes from the Pat McGrath Petalmorphosis and, excuse me, Subversive live stream. I was going to say video, but I have not gone to sleep yet. Y'all, I am so freaking sleepy. Yeah, the weekend wore me out. Now we're going to take, I didn't even pull out brushes. Now we're going to take Kindlewood, that brown, and we're going to put that on the inside of the green. I'm excited for the live. I'm not going to say what we're doing, but you know what? I think I did change the title to add like what it is that we're doing. We had, maybe months ago, we had talked about doing a live stream together or a collab, like how to stay sane with all the political stuff that was going on, because we were both struggling. Like we were both struggling, and we were talking about how, like, what we're learning, how to circumvent, you know, some of the stress and what we're doing in our day-to-day lives to not feel as stressed. We were going to do a video and talk about it, and I know I've done videos similar to that before, like how to, you know, whatever, to help you feel better about certain things. But we never got around to it. And I think it was just, part of it I think was timing, but then part of it I think is because we were both really struggling. And I think it's safe to say we, meaning myself and Janessa, because stuff just kept getting worse and worse. Today is the 29th of April. And so, you know, like if you watch any of the news or if you talk to anybody who even briefly mentions what's going on, like, you know what's happening, and it has not been good. So I think that was part of it too, was we were both still just struggling and things just kept getting worse and worse. And I'm retired, but Janessa still works, and so there's that factor too. It's like we have to, I'm saying we, and I just said I'm retired, but even with the things I do on a day-to-day basis, it's like, okay, do I have enough spoons to do what's required of me to do? And still have spoons left for, you know, YouTube, which is not required. Even though for me it does feel like a job, even though it's not my job, because I do film like almost every day, and if I'm not filming, I'm doing troll play. I'm doing something related to YouTube every day, and so I think that's what it was. But for this one, we were both like, yeah, all right, this Thursday. And so it just lined up right. And so the topic, you'll see what the topic is. So I love lethal. I do. This is the brush I use for the Hourglass. And I forgot to put concealer under my nose. But I do think the Hourglass powder does help camouflage some of that. Because before I put it on, I was just like, oh, girl. Yeah, under nose area redness is looking real disrespectful. So now I'm going to take Biome. That, y'all, this shade. Look at this. I'm just patting it. Y'all. I was wondering, I do want to get rid of some more palettes. And when I use my lethal, I'm like, that could be it for me. I mean, not know the only brand, but because I do have so many of the shades, so many of their single shadows and BYOPs, I'm like, I could probably dupe almost anything. And so that's what had me thinking, you know what? I can get rid of some more palettes, but I'm not committed yet to that idea. And so I really would need to maybe do some battles, do one palette, one eye, and lethal on the other eye, and see how close we get, and use whatever palette, you know, do like 3 different battles with the same 2 palettes. Because just for me, if I just do one look, okay, that's just one look. What about all these other shades in this palette? We're gonna go back to the brush. Y'all, look, this could be the look. And there is some on the center of the lid just because of the brush. But like this. So we're gonna take the brown. We're not adding more. And we're just overlapping Biome. That shade is so freaking pretty. And I'm thinking of Anastasia Beverly Hills Far Romance palette. I do really like that palette. But in my mind, I'm like, can I do that with lethal? And sometimes it is about, well, for me, sometimes it is about, I just want something just a little bit different. You know what I mean? A different brand, a different, you know, feel, because that palette, I think, is velvet or some kind of something. So sometimes it is just about different. I don't have any inkling to get rid of my Natasha's because all of hers are unique. And because I don't have a lot of those lighter color stories, because they're not my color stories, they are unique. And so I don't think about that, but I think about, you know, other brands that I have. Excuse me. Okay, I wanted to take that red shade and then take Untamed. And I feel like I used Untamed recently. This shade. I feel like I used that recently. We are going to take Mainframe. Y'all, this right here could be it. And a green liner for upper lash line. Ooh. A green lip strip. But you know what? This would rock it too. Just this basic, oh yeah, let's keep that out. Just a basic brown. Because for me right now, and y'all know I love a dark lip. This is just, yeah, this isn't even green. I don't know. Somebody tell me what color this is. I'm not good at describing colors, but it looks like a blue-green or green-blue, something. But, or this. Or put this on and then top it with this. But either one of these, let me get the glare off. Either one of these, yeah, there's the glare going. Either one of these, we're going to keep both of those out. So we're going to take Mainframe. And we're going to need to put that right here. Actually, we're going to take it all the way across because there's only so much space there. But when we take Untamed, we are just going to do a stripe right down the middle. And this could be the look. And I like that this is the color it is because it does bring out that tone and that shifty shade. Oh man, y'all, I feel like I don't use lethal enough considering how many of the BYOPs I have. I feel like I'm yelling. I did have like 10 Skittles. I don't feel like I use it enough, use the brand enough. But it's just like, damn. When I do, I'm just like, y'all, right now I'm looking at the space in between the top edge of the shade and my brow bone, and I think it looks okay. This shape right here is a little different than over here. What brush was that? We're going to go back with the brush that we put for Replica. No, that wasn't the brush for Replica. Yeah, it was, for inner corner and outer corner. And we're going to use the angle part of the brush, and we're just going to feather it right there. Oh, I think that, that did it. And the shape, well, the shapes are different as usual. I was going to say the shapes are almost the same. The outer corner shapes. Using the edge of the brush. Y'all, I had forgot that for the event on the 3rd, I had told the host that I would do like very basic stuff for free for the Exploratorium, because that's like 3 hours. And then after that is when they start doing the other stuff. And I had forgot that. So when they had asked me how I felt about posting in a group, I did. They commented on it, you know, that I have been approved by them and by the Playhouse to be there. I'll be doing basic, simple stuff free for the Exploratorium and paid services for, you know, after the Exploratorium. And I'm like, damn, I did say that, didn't I? So I was thinking of what's going to be simple. Simple is going to be if they just want one eyeshadow and one stencil. That's it. Not using multiple colors, blah, 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 blah. Because plus two, I want something quick. And the reason I do remember telling her, we're going in with Untamed. And the reason I remember telling her, I don't know if I told her, yo, this is pretty. I remember telling her that because in my mind, I was thinking, okay, if I'm not going to do any services until the playtime starts, nobody's going to even see my work. But if I do like free, really simple stuff, at least they'll be there walking around before everything gets lit. You know what I mean? And so that was my purpose in doing that. So they'll be my walking advertisement. And then other people will be like, oh, that looks nice. Who did that? That lady over there with all that stuff on the table. I don't know if that made a difference, We're going back with the brush that had the red. Y'all, this is so freaking simple and it's not messy. This is the brush that had that red on it. So we're just feathering in a little bit because I feel like we did lose the red, but I do really still think it is okay. And what I should have probably done was maybe use like a brush like this and just a straight line, but then I would still want to blend it out. You know what I'm saying? And so I do usually use a brush like this one because as you saw, it does just do that straight line. But I think this is it, y'all. This is pretty. This is friggin' pretty. Thank you to my members for helping me name the palettes. Y'all. And look, we're at 16 minutes. And I still need to edit out priming the eye. So probably what, 10 minutes, 12 minutes for this look. And I'm feeling like I don't even want to put anything underneath really, because I'm digging it, but we're going to put something underneath. We're going to take a purple actually, because we're going to use, let me slow down. We used 3 shades out of this one, and we only used these 2 out of this one. So we're going to take this one and this one are UV reactive. No, wait, we used this one and that one. This one and this one are UV reactive, but I don't have a black light. And it didn't come to my mind to order one before prices started going up. We're going to take, I think this would stay in line with what we have up top. But part of me is thinking, excuse me for the glare. Oh, shoot. Part of me is thinking, put this on the first half lower lash line and then put the purple on second half. This would brighten it up some. No, we're just going to put this all across. And if I change my mind, then we'll put the other one. This shade is Foxglove. And so we're just going to put this underneath. Y'all, this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. And I love this brush for this. This brush I hated for shading. It says angled shader brush, but it is so flimsy. Here's the second one, because I bought 2. But look how flimsy this is. Like this is, there's like nothing. So how are you going to put anything on your mobile lid with that? And it does say angled shader brush. I was going to throw it away. You probably heard me say this before. And it was only maybe, it was half off. So maybe like, I don't even know, $8, $5, something. And so that's why I ordered 2, because it didn't look this flimsy online. And I was going to throw them away. So they might have been like $7. And I said, you know what? Let me just try it for different things. And I found that I love it for lower lash line, and particularly a matte shadow, because they sometimes tend to be softer than shimmers or metallics, or at least the ones that I have. And that is it. And so now I'm thinking purple for upper lash line. We're going to put more over here because we came down thicker on this side, and this is just so freaking easy. I'm trying to think. I didn't even put on concealer under my eyes. Yo, I completely forgot about concealers, period. So this will camouflage that. Won't camouflage the wrinkles, but that's okay because we accept our features, our natural. This Amelia look like it's getting bigger. Unless excuse me, I just haven't really looked at it in a while. But it's looking bigger. Now that it's bigger, she might be okay with removing it. Because before she was like, well, I don't want to, that's kind of close to your tear duct area, so I don't want to do it. And then she said if I want her to do it, she would. I said, well, you just said you would rather not, and you're the eye doctor. So if you would rather not, then I'm not going to say do it. But, and it's really not like up close and personal to my tear duct area. I mean, because it's right here, and tear duct is here. I mean, it is closer. It's close, but it's not like right up against my tear duct area. And so maybe that's what had her second guessing what she said the first time. I don't know, but it does look like it's bigger to me. Y'all, ooh, now I'm thinking of purple lipstick. So those are the shades. What's that, 5 shades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 shades. And I wanted to get that done because, yeah, we've used, as of right now, April 28th, all the rest of my palettes I had left all the rest of my palettes that I had left to use in my stash for within like the last 3 months. And so, and I know it might be silly, but it's just something that I really want to do. I'm like, I want to make sure I'm using all of my stuff, rotating all of my stuff. And I didn't have to rush to do it, but I'm like, you know what? It would be great to have that done for my roundup for the next month. And so, and it does feel good using my stuff. I know I'm gonna use a lot of stuff when I get to that event. This is Plum Madness. Nah, we're gonna do the brown with that Notoriously Morbid. Both of these are Notoriously Morbid. This came in the Advent box, I believe. And it is called Burial is a Secret. Both of these are liquid lipsticks. This one is a little bit thicker than this one, but I don't mind that it's thinner, because then you can build it up if you want to. And this one was gift with purchase, and it's called I'm Liking Your Style. Could not purchase it separate. And they sent me an extra one by mistake, because I made 2 separate orders, and they put one with each order. What am I looking for? Liner. And I was like, oh, should I give it away? And then I'm like, nah. And so I kept it. And I'm still using this one. And this one, damn, I opened it January 8th, 2024. And I remember saying, I don't know if that video aired yet, I'm looking for a lethal eyeliner brush, believe it or not. And, okay, here's one. This one. I'm not going to open the 6 new ones I ordered. They haven't gotten here yet. The first 2 with a palette I ordered April 11th. It is the 29th. They haven't even shipped yet. I'm just like... So, this one does not show up that dark unless I keep going over it. And that's Jiggy Jam. And Jiggy Jam... Sorry, not sorry. We're going to put this one for upper lash line. And we're going to put this on. And then we're going to put this on. Do I even want to do mascara? We're going to put mascara on. And when we come back, everything will be done. Jiggy Jam. Oh, jam. Jiggy Jam for me, yeah. I just realized, y'all, that this formula, even though it is a little bit thinner than MAC's Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color, I do not have to go back in with this at all. Not at all. And I need to make a mental note to take that out of my bag along with my black lip liner that I took with me to the conference to freshen up, which I never freshen up my lip. And also, side note, when I showed y'all the other day that this had just a little nub left, this is done. And, excuse me, this is done. And my first time using this was no, it was not, November 1st, 2024. So December, January, March, April, May. Well, not even quite May. So a little over 4 months. This is gone. Now we're gonna put this on. Y'all, oh my God, I love this look. And it was so easy to do and so quick. I realized when I was using Photomorphosis, pairing it with Subversive, Photomorphosis gave me quite a bit of fallout. And I don't like mess, y'all know that. So that's one of the factors, along with the color story not being my color story, that will make it easy for me to get rid of it. Sometimes, and I think it's because these are different formulas, you can see where it stops, like right here, and it doesn't look quite right to me. And so then I usually end up taking it further out this way because I'm trying to get it to look blended. Yo, oh my gosh, I love this look. Let's do our pictures because I feel like I'm going to forget. Yo, I am so tired. And I do want to get this posted for tomorrow. And part of me is saying just don't edit it in the next hour or two, because earlier I did get an ocular aura, which means I'm doing too much either in front of these lights or just too much looking at the computer screen. So I know I need to rest my eyes. But so let's do these pictures because I do feel like I'm going to forget. Ow, this elbow, y'all. All right, here we go. And then this one. And then we're going to open up these palettes again. And we're going to take our picture with these for the gallery. I kind of want to do this though. Let y'all know I'm uncoordinated and clumsy. Because both the, because they, okay, wait. Okay. All right. Y'all, I'm a mess. But I know I am, so it's okay. So here's this picture. Hopefully that came out nice. And they probably both look exactly the same. One eye looking bigger than the other eye. So thank you, y'all, for being here with me. There's stuff popping up over here for you to watch. If you have time, I would love for you to continue hanging out. If you're not subscribed, I would love for you to do that and to consider membership. We are now doing, I started to say, in the beginning, I said one members only live stream a month, but it's turning out to be 2 a month. And so if you want to get in on that and to have some say into the content as far as making requests and things like that, membership is how you do that. So we're going to go. Thank you. And again, stuff is popping up over here for you to watch, continuing to hang out or just come back when you can. And I appreciate you being here. Thanks. Bye.